the hell, man? The body horror is quite good. I mean, I would love to like kick this guy in the nuts and spit on him, but he'd probably enjoy it way too much. Hey guys, how are you? Today is the start of a very exciting vlog. One that I've been noodling on for a few months now. If you remember, I did this vlog right here last year. It's still my highest performing video on this channel, which is crazy that so many people hit click to watch it. I love that. So cool. Out of that video, at the end, I asked all the viewers, what was the scariest book you have read? Because I wanted to collect all the responses and read the ones I hadn't read yet, because I love being scared and I'm constantly on the hunt to be scared. I love it. I love it. It's the best feeling. It's like everyone's like, whoa, calm down, Peyton. So I made a very advanced, very high-tech, very detailed spreadsheet. And I'm not going to link it because I'm kind of embarrassed. I hate Excel. If you didn't already gather that extra layer of sarcasm I put on, I hate Excel, but I put it in a list format and I've highlighted the ones that I've already read. The books that were mentioned the most in the comments of that video, or somebody would comment and it had a lot of likes, those were bumped up the list. So of the books that were mentioned the most or had the most attention toward that comment were House of Leaves, which I'm going to save for a separate reading vlog because I think that's a lot to put in one vlog where I plan to read 3 to 4 or 5 books. Dark Matter by Michelle Paver, Summer of Night by Dan Simmons, Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill, The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters, The Ruins by Scott Smith, and The Exorcist. So this will be a part 1. I'm going to continue to do this. The more that I go through this list, I'll probably vlog it, or at least I want to. So for this part 1, we are going to focus on a few of the books that I just mentioned. I'm going to be reading Dark Matter, a ghost story, which I've heard is more slow, which is what I really like in horror. I'm going to be reading The Ruins for the first time. I've not even seen the movie. I know vaguely what this is about, but I'm kind of walking in blind. I will be reading Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. That one's probably going to be first up because my library hold just came in. I've read Nosferatu quite a few years ago and I really liked it, but I haven't read any Joe Hill since. And I know this is one of his more popular releases. Also, I'm going to be reading The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. There were quite a few comments about this. I get this recommended to me in other videos because I've mentioned how much I like The Silent Companions, and now this is like kind of slowly creeping dread. So I will be reading this, and I've recently picked up this absolute cursed copy of The Exorcist. I love this. This is so sick. I have seen The Exorcist movie countless times. I don't even know how many times. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I have never read the book. This one will be interesting. I think it's going on the bottom of the TBR. I do want to read it, but if I don't get to it this time, I think it's fine. Like I'm probably going to pick this up in the fall or like Halloween. Let's start with Heart-Shaped Box and let's see if any of your suggestions can scare me, because I'm kind of been in a scared drought. I've not been like shook up scared in a while. It's bugging me. It's bugging me. We have a lot of books to read that I hope will scare the shit out of me, and I can add to that list of books that scare the shit out of me. But let's get started. Hi guys, a little reading update. I'm about 32% through Heart-Shaped Box. Y'all, I am not having a good time with this book. I'm only 30% in and I'm just like thinking about DNFing because it's just been really meh so far, and I didn't even look. I don't know if this is Joe Hill's first published novel or not. So this came out in 2007. 20th Century Ghost also came out the same year. So this was like one of his first published works. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. What's it about? So this is following our main character, Judas Coyne, who is a washed up, aging death metal rock god. Like, he was worshipped, think like Ozzy Osbourne type of deal. He's a collector of very morbid memorabilia, collectibles like John Wayne Gacy artwork, cookbooks for cannibals. He has a hangman's noose. He has a snuff film. But like, I don't get it. If that's your thing, who am I to judge? Very beginning of the book, and you are thrown right into the story and like what's at stake. Like within 5 pages, it like sets off. There's not like a big prologue or anything. It just starts. So since Jude likes to collect stuff like this, his assistant gets an email about this dead man's suit for sale that may be haunted, maybe not. And he's like, sure, why not? Let's just buy it, $1,000. Click, and it gets sent to him. He finds out that the suit's the real deal. This comes with a haunting, basically. You get the suit, you get a haunting. And now it's in his house, and it wants him. It wants him, and it wants to ruin him and ruin everyone who's around him. And let me look at my notes. The dialogue just leaves a lot to be desired. It's very short and snippy, and I know the main character is supposed to be like very cold and very much removed from feelings. But it's so dull. It's so elementary. Like, the dialogue is not good. And Judas Coin is just so hateable. He's so vile. And he is just this edgelord dude and like did a lot of drugs. His wife left him because he had the snuff film, whatever. He's just been dating basically his groupies for a while now since his wife left him, and he doesn't even call them by their name. He calls them by the state where they came from, like Florida or Georgia. It's just, ugh. I mean, I would love to kick this guy in the nuts and spit on him, but he'd probably enjoy it way too much. Ugh. What? Honestly, like the last, I'm at like 32%. It's just dull. It's just like really dull and boring and not really interesting. Like, I was interested and then I wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna go like shower and make dinner and read some more of this, but I'm contemplating DNFing 30% because I don't think it's very good. I'm trying to scare myself during this vlog. I want to be scared, and like usually like stuff doesn't pick up for a horror novel, I want to say, until like 50% onwards, or that's when that can make a break or book for me. But I'm already at 30% and I'm feeling like I'm gonna regret reading this book. So I don't know. I will check back in either when I'm DNF'd or I've finished the book. I don't know. I'm kind of bummed out. This is the first video for this vlog and it's just like, wish I had a better update. I really enjoyed Nosferatu. Was I scared? Not necessarily, but it was a very entertaining, good horror book, and I'm just not liking this so far. Alright, I will check back later. Hey, I'm back. Quick transition, I know. Hold on. What is on my camera? I'm DNFing Heart-Shaped Box at 50%. I literally don't care enough to finish this book. It is not good. It is not good. I guess it could be creepy, but it's mostly whoa, what is happening? It's mostly very cringy. This old washed up rocker and he's in his 50s, and this 20-something goth, so skinny girlfriend sidekick. Like, I don't care what happens to them because I don't care about them at all. I don't care about what's happening in this book at all. I'm so bored. So bored. And I think Joe Hill did, oh, hey, you guys be nice. I think Joe Hill, he did the Black Phone, right? Yeah, and then in Heart-Shaped Box, there's a lot of like ghostly telephone calls and ghostly radios that I feel like he also did in Nosferatu. I think he needs to find a better way to haunt people. Because it's just kind of like, it's dull. Like the radio, the phone calls, there's even the scene where like, you know, like the people who have the hole in their throat and they have to use like that electro, like little buzzy thing. Even that too. No communication device is safe in these books. I don't care where the story's going. I'm not scared. This may be a spoiler, so if you want to read this book, maybe skip ahead, but I don't really think it's a spoiler. Like the ghost is literally just an old smelly dude and they like can walk around him. It's like not scary. It's so dumb. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry if you recommended this book to me or say I should read it because you think it would scare me, or it's the scariest book you read. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And now I don't know what to read next. I don't know which book to pick. We have The Exorcist, The Ruins, The Little Stranger, Dark Matter. Maybe I'll read Dark Matter because I think that's shorter. The longest one is The Little Stranger. I don't know if I'm ready to jump into that yet. Maybe I'll do Dark Matter. I don't know, I'm so mad. I'm so mad about this book. It's so cringy and icky, and the book was written in third person, but it's mainly through Jude, focusing on Jude. And literally, like, every woman was either skinny goth or like blonde goth or like white pale skin and just like basically nude like in like every other scene, or in like her panties, and everything was pierced. And then other women, it's like fat, chubby, could have been the Pillsbury Doughboy, fat fingers, makes me sick. It's just like, or they're all unpleasant, they're all bitchy. And yeah, he's really despicable. This book is making me so mad just because I don't like these characters. I don't like the main character. I don't really care what happens to him, if anything happens to him. So yeah, DNFing. I hate DNFing, but especially horror books, because I feel like they can really turn around. Sometimes, not always, but this is one I don't care, and I'm not going to read a book I'm not liking. I'm not doing that anymore, because I did that last year and I got in a really bad reading slump, so not doing that again. So DNFing. I think I'm going to switch to Dark Matter. I'm going to start tonight. I will update you when I have thoughts. But book one, not successful. Really not starting off this vlog strong. Hey, hello, a little reading update. I am so proud to let you all know that I'm having a great time with Dark Matter, a ghost story by Michelle Paver. I started yesterday and I read up to about, I think I'm at 30%, 35% right now, and it's good. I'm hooked. It is in epistolary format. One of my favorite ways to experience books, but primarily horror. It's really worked for me. Like the slow unfurling story and the dread and the creepy factor, the gothicness of it. I don't know. It's just, why am my head so big? I just noticed. So Dark Matter starts off in January of 1937 in London, and you're following 28-year-old Jack, who is very poor. He's very lonely. He has the world's biggest chip on his shoulder. He probably walks around like because the man is just, he's angry. He grew up in a very middle class, Rosie, I'm trying to tell our viewers about this book. Rosie! He grew up in a very upper middle class lifestyle. He went to a really prestigious school and had what he called a more privileged, high-end society lifestyle, which fell apart when his parents passed and he had to deal with like the estate and debt, and he's been very poor and very angry about his circumstances he's been in, working this dead-end job for little to no pay. Really, he's really miserable. He's cut out everyone from his previous school life because it comes off as he's really angry at them because he feels like his chance has gotten squashed, which I'll talk about more in a second. But Jack is approached by some old friends of his who are all like well-to-do now in society, and like what he thinks had the chance that he got taken away from him, something like that. They invite him on this Arctic expedition to basically help assist with their research. They are going to be surveying and doing some biology work, as well as like surveying the landscape. And where they want to go is this little island between the Arctic and I think Greenland. The Arctic and I think Greenland. I forgot the name of it in the book, but its current name is Svalbard, which is a real place. And that place goes through 4 to 5, if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 5 months of winter dark, or the midnight sun, where it's just dark for months at a time. And there's 5 men outside of Jack who are going or 4 men outside of Jack who are going, and one of them asks, like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you're up for it? And Jack approaches all of this like a challenge. Oh yeah, I want to see if I'm tough enough to do this. I want to know if I can handle this. Like, he's very gung-ho about this idea of being in darkness and isolation, working on scientific pursuits. So the men set off from Norway towards this island. All of their equipment, they have sled dogs. Let me tell you, the atmosphere of this book is so well done. You can feel how cold it is and how loud the wind is when it's like howling outside their tent. When they get to the island, like, the atmosphere is just like so well done. Like, you feel like you are there. It is so cold and so windy. They are witnessing and experiencing this very harsh landscape and seeing like the realities of the wildlife there and how like brutal it is, like with the seals and the birds, and there's whale skeletons along the beach as well as skeletons of seals and birds. It is a very haunted atmosphere and a very haunted place. And the man who brought them there, the skipper of the vessel that brought them there, is like, I don't want to take you here. I don't think this is a good place. And so far he won't explain why, and he's about to leave them there for their pursuits. None of this is derailing Jack. Like, the men are like kind of getting like a little like, well, I don't know about this. Like, I'm kind of, like, kind of having second thoughts, some of the men in the group. But Jack's like, no. What are you doing? Why did we come all the way here for you guys to just be like, no, this is too much. I'm tough. I want to stay here. Like, that's the vibes I'm getting from Jack, because it's all in his diary entry so far. I'm so curious where this book is going to go, because I am in it. I am nervous. I think is how well it's all described, like this very gray, dark place, and the water is very dark and gray, like the ice. They're about to head into this dark winter as a group, and like there's no one around them, no one coming for them. They have a radio, but who knows? It's 1937, so I wouldn't say it's a great radio, but all the men are also like very nervous about an oncoming war, and they want to do this to kind of distance themselves from what is coming down the pipeline. Well, we all know what happens, but like they want to distance themselves a little bit from that life and focus on this uncharted territory and pursuits. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. It has been raining for days here. It's been raining and cloudy and dark for days. It was pouring all day yesterday. It's been raining on and off today. I haven't been going out for a run, but that makes great reading weather. So I am going to read some more of Dark Matter, and I will probably update you all when I'm done, or if I have more to say. I have good feelings for this one, so talk soon. Hey everyone, I want to give a little reading update. I did finish Dark Matter by Michelle Paver. I really enjoyed it. It did creep me out in a few spots. The imagery and like combined with the atmosphere and the loneliness it was written so well that it did like give me chills. So props to everyone that recommended Dark Matter to me. I really enjoyed it. So the last time I checked in is the main character, Jack. He was very gung-ho about this expedition. It was kind of a last chance for him. And when they get to the island, the skipper is, I think I mentioned this, the skipper is very much like acting very weird and cagey and tells them he doesn't think it's a good idea that they should stay, and almost doesn't drop them off at the beach. They just like shove it off. It's not whatever. This guy's just a little superstitious, nothing to be worried about. This is science, and science triumphs all. There's no such thing as ghosts or ghost stories. It's just meant to scare you and keep people away from the island. Okay, yeah, so they get there. It's Jack and Gus and Algie. And Jack hates Algie. He thinks he's like a lazy piece of shit and like does nothing to further the science or why they're there. He just complains the whole time. So Jack is like so fed up with him. But he really likes Gus. He even admits it's almost like a hero idol worship. So when they're there, stuff starts to go wrong. And also they have a bunch of sled dog huskies. And I will just say for anyone who's mourning, because I brought this up in the last vlog I did where I read a horror book with a dog and I didn't check trigger warnings. I will say, if you are sensitive to anything happening to animals, check trigger warnings. I don't think this is a spoiler, what I'm about to say, because it doesn't really involve anything that goes on in the story at all. So please take that as you will, but if you are sensitive to spoilers, honestly, you probably shouldn't be watching anyone on BookTube talk about books. Sorry, it's just my opinion. But I don't consider it a spoiler. But if you're sensitive to animal death in books, like on-page animal death, like I am, there's 2 instances. It doesn't have anything to do with the sled dogs. Nothing. They're separate incidences. They are like really brutal, upsetting animal torture and abuse that happens. It's only like maybe a couple sentences. I did go through them. I just went right past them. So keep that in mind. But other than that, besides those that it's not for me, the eeriness and, oh man, there's some really well written horror scenes, like eerie scenes written in this book. It reads almost like a classic ghost story, and I really enjoyed that about it. The writing, I underlined so much. The writing is just so spectacular. And I wasn't sure how Michelle Paver was going to wrap everything up, but I think it was so good towards the end. It was so good towards the end. I really left that book feeling like I'm so glad I read that. I'm really happy I left that book feeling like it got me a few times, like it freaked me out. And just how well executed it was. Like there's one thing for a horror book to have scary scenes, but it may or may not be written well. If that makes sense? I don't know. I feel the same way with movies. Like, it's not maybe the best movie. There's a lot of rough edges, but there's that couple scenes that really get you. It's kind of how I felt Dark Matter. Just watching these men of science and then Jack, who just really wants to prove himself, and how all of their fears starts to become real for them. And oh, it's so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really did. I'm glad. Alright, but I did start the next book in this vlog. I wasn't sure which one I was going to start. I have The Ruins, The Exorcist, and The Little Stranger left. I decided to go with The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. It has been so overcast and dark. I don't know if you can tell. The lighting, it's so overcast and cloudy and rainy, and I just felt more in the mood for a classic type of ghost story, from what I've been told, this is it. It is blurred by Stephen King. The #1 book of 2009, several sleepless nights are guaranteed. So this is it doesn't look very long. The pages are Bible thin. So this is it's a little bit over 500 pages. So it's the longest book of this vlog. I'm about 90 pages in. So I don't really have a lot to say just yet because I'm still like in the early baseline of the story. This book is told from the perspective of Dr. Faraday, who as a child visited this mansion called Hundreds Hall when he was a kid. It was like the early 1900s. So he's in his 40s now. The luxurious Hundreds Hall is home to this family called the Ayres. And when Dr. Faraday was a kid, they were very wealthy and threw lavish parties, and Hundreds Hall was like a beautiful Gothic mansion with overflowing gardens and a fountain and hundreds of servants and acres, just beautiful jewel of the small town English countryside where Dr. Faraday grew up. So now Dr. Faraday is much older. He's in his 40s. Him and his partner have a medical partnership where they take care of the different types of ailments within this town in England. And one day the heiress's doctor, his partner, can't make it. So Dr. Faraday goes out there and meets the family and sees Hundreds Hall after what has been 30 plus years. And he had heard rumors that it was very much in disrepair. I'm going to put this down. And very much in disrepair, and it's crumbling. They only have 2 wait staff. It's an elderly mother and her 2 children who are in like their late 20s. One is Caroline and the other is Roderick, who are the 2 kids. And Dr. Faraday almost immediately takes a liking to the family, and they really like him too. And they keep inviting him back. He keeps having these instances of coming back within the first 90 pages. So nothing creepy has happened yet, nothing unsettling. I'm still getting introduced to, like I said, like the early baseline of the story. Others in the community joke that the family is living kind of this Bronte-esque life, kind of stuck in that time period and not really moving with the modern world post-war. Its owners, mother, son, and daughter, are struggling to keep pace with a changing society, as well as with conflicts of their own. But are the heiresses haunted by something more sinister than a dying way of life? Little does Dr. Faraday know how closely and how terrifying their story is about to come entwined with his own. Yeah, that's on the back of the book. So, yeah, it's very early. I am enjoying it. Yeah, I'm going to keep reading. I've never read Sarah Waters before. But I will check back in when I have more to say. Probably when I'm a lot farther in. I'll probably check in before I finish the book. But, anyway, it's cloudy. It is overcast. Me and Luke are going to go to a family dinner. When I come back, it'll be dark, and I will be cozy in bed, probably reading this. To give a little reading update for The Little Stranger. I'm more than halfway through. I think I have about 200 pages left of The Little Stranger. I'm loving this. And this is a slower burning type of historical fiction horror. It's post-war Britain, and how it's written is very like classic BBC-esque type of writing and dialogue, like, "Oh, pish posh. It's quite alright, my dear." I like it. So just keep that in mind if that's not your type of thing with horror. I think this leans more historical fiction so far. But it's creepy. It is a creepy gothic horror book. And my time with it has been great. Like, I love sitting down and reading this because it is so immersive. Like, you feel like you're at Hundreds Hall and stuff is crumbling around you. The wallpaper's sagging. There's leaks everywhere. This family, the heirs, very dated in their own, in a way. And Dr. Faraday, he's become a pretty regular visitor to Hundreds Hall. Has taken a real liking to the heiresses, the mother, Miss Ayres, and her children, Caroline and Roderick. And somebody... I'm so dumb. I never read the blurbs on the back of books. Haunted by the spirits of Henry James and Edgar Allan Poe. Waters is just one turn of the screw away from the fall of the House of Usher. And I was like, wait a second. The main characters in Fall of the House of Usher. It's Broderick or Roderick, right? Yeah, Roderick Usher and Madeline. So this is Caroline and Roderick and their mother. Oh, I never read the back of the book. Anyway, that's cool. Like, I can see it. I can definitely see the Fall of the House of Usher vibes in this, for sure. Like I said, it's a very slow, unfurling, creeping along type of gothic chiller. Because it's in third person, mainly, but it is following Dr. Faraday and his interactions with the family and at Hundreds Hall, and he is present during a lot of these weird occurrences. Because he is a man of science, he is just like, oh, well, it's nothing. But then more stuff starts to happen. It starts to affect the family differently. It's getting to a point where Dr. Faraday is really starting to question what his eyes are seeing, what he can see and what he can hear, and trying to just blow it off as nothing. I think he's getting to the point where that's becoming harder and harder to do. I love all the characters. I love them. I'm so in this. And I was like, this would be a great movie. It is. Somebody already adapted it. So I'm probably gonna watch it at some point when I finish this, if I like it enough. I hope it keeps its momentum because I really like it, and I'm excited to get to the mystery and how Dr. Faraday is involved. I think I have a hunch. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna put if I'm right here. Normally I'm not right, but I might have an idea of like where or what the twist may be. I don't know, but I'm really liking this a lot. Really, really liking this. I just want to like stay in here with these characters so much and this crumbling estate. I don't know. I just love everything about this. So props to you all for recommending this to me. I'm really, really liking it. I'm really liking it. I have to do some work today. And again, another dreary day in Minneapolis. So later, oh my god, like one of my ambience videos when I was reading this, and I turned on to like Haunted Mansion. I'll put the exact one I was listening to in the link below, but it looked like this. I was just la la la, reading. And then I heard a woman singing, like far away. And I was like, I took my headphone out. I was like, wait a second. I got freaked out while I was reading this. Oh my gosh. And I'm blanking on who the director is, but the original The Haunting, not the one with Liam Neeson, which that's a guilty pleasure of mine, but the original 1950s Haunting, the director, he was reading Shirley Jackson's Haunting of Hill House? I think I'm right. Anyway, I think that's what he was reading. Or he was like, somebody had passed him like a screenplay version of it, and he was reading it, and someone knocked at his door and it scared the crap out of him. So he was like, if I'm this scared from reading this, imagine what it's going to be like as a movie. It got me. This got me. So again, another props to you all. I did like get freaked out with the combination of something very unsettling happening in the book and then like the woman singing. I was like, oh, I gotta do some work, but I will talk later. Oh, God, I hope it keeps its momentum. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if this is a new favorite.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Hey y'all, I just got done filming my monthly wrap up, but I wanted to pop on here and talk about The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. I finished it. It really lost me. It really lost me by like the last 25%. Like the last time I checked in, I was feeling really good and was so invested in everything and was like so into this. And honestly, this book probably should have been 100 pages shorter. 150 pages shorter. I don't know. This is nearly 500 pages. It was over 500 pages. And yeah, I think there was a lot of fluff, unfortunately. And I grew to really dislike being in Dr. Faraday's perspective. I really grew to dislike it. I think that was maybe a mistake. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting if you'd had a different perspective. Maybe one of the siblings or the mother, someone. Because honestly, it was just, yes, I'm a man of science, and like, I don't believe in this ghostly stuff. I think you might just be experiencing some hysteria. Like, a lot of that is like women's follies. And I was like, oh my god. It was like, at one point, it was like, you know, like that ex you just cannot get to leave you alone. That's how I felt about Dr. Faraday. I want to like get her to see the error in her ways. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna punch you in the dick. You are so annoying. I hated the ending. I honestly felt like she didn't know how to end the book. Which sucks for me to say that because it started off so, I was so like into it. I'm gonna dive into this book. I was living in this book. And then, oh, there goes Luke. He's just bike by. Man, what the hell, man? That's A Little Stranger. I'm gonna land like three stars, 3.5, because it wasn't horrible, but I grew to be very, very frustrated by like the latter chunk of the book. So that sucks. But that is that book. And we are gonna end this vlog with me reading The Ruins by Scott Smith. I'm going into this blind. I've not seen the movie. I've not read this before. I know it takes place in Mexico and maybe some ruins. Such an asshole. Yeah, the ruins. I'm gonna save The Exorcist probably for the fall. I'm gonna start this. And I really hope I like this. Because I'm gonna be f***ing pissed and maybe not post this vlog. Horror's just been really rough for me lately. It's been so hit or miss. Most of what I've read this year has been so hit or miss. But I will let you all know when I have more to say about the ruins. Do you have anything to say about The Ruins by Scott Smith? Are you a good Yumi? Okay. A little reading update for The Ruins. I'm about like 200 pages in, so a little bit more than halfway. Okay. I'm starting to actually enjoy it. It started off... Alright, let me tell you what it's about. Sorry. This is about two young couples. I mean, two guys and two girls. Amy and, oh my god, Stacy? Amy and Stacy. And then Eric and Tim? Ted? Jeff? Eric and Jeff. Yeah, Eric and Jeff. Okay, Stacy and Amy, Eric and Jeff. They're the couples. I don't remember who's with who. It doesn't really matter because I think they all read very similar. Like, they're all very... There's not a ton of dialogue in this to begin with. It does switch perspectives between all four of them. And it's a lot of inner thoughts and feelings and fears to a degree. So they're in Mexico on vacation, soaking up some sun and laying on the beach before they start the next chapter of their lives. Like, two of them are moving, the other two are going to med school, blah, 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 blah. So they're in Mexico and they befriend this German guy, Matthias, who tells them that his brother ran off with this girl and they were going to go to these ruins out like a few hours away. He's really concerned. I think this is before cell phones. No, there is cell phones. For some reason, you can't get a hold of him. Or there's no service, whatever. So the group decides to go with him. They want to explore anyway. They want to explore Mexico anyway. So they decide to go with him. They think it's just going to be a little day trip. Talk some sense into his brother. Bring him back. Spend the rest of their week laying on the beach. So the five of them set out. No, six of them. The six of them set out. Because they call him the Greek. His name is Pablo in the book because they don't speak any English. So they don't understand him, but he's just like a guy who's been a part of these group of Greek men who are mostly interested in the women. They met on the beach. One of them made out with Stacy or Amy, who knows. He doesn't understand where they're going, but he wants to come and he thinks it's like a party. So he brings his backpack and so there's like 3 bottles of vodka in it, whatever. So the 6 of them all take a bus and then this car drives them close to this area on this hand-drawn map that's apparently this archaeological dig near these ruins. And the driver's like, this is a bad idea. You guys shouldn't go here. This is not good. Like, no, not good. I'll take you back. Let's not do this. They're like, oh, whatever. He's just being weird. Ignore him. The group stumbles upon this village because they're trying to find these ruins or archaeological dig, and they stumble upon this village and none of the inhabitants look at them, speak to them. They're all like ignoring them pretty much, and none of them speak Spanish. So they're all like just wandering around, la da da, oh, this is cool, and one of them's taking pictures. Anyway, they head up to, they look at the map and they head up towards this hill. And they go up this hill. It doesn't look like anyone has been there for a while. There's tents and materials and shovels, and it doesn't look like really anyone has been there for a while. So we're like, huh, that's weird. So they try and go back down the hill, and all of a sudden there's all these men from the village, and they're screaming at them and pointing guns at them. So they're surrounding them around this hill and like they're not letting them leave this hill. And they're scared. Obviously they're scared half to death. Like, what the hell is going on? They are stuck there and things go from bad to worse to really bad to really, really bad. I personally think the ruins is, I don't know if they're going to get to ruins. I still have like a good quarter of the book left. There haven't been any ruins. I thought they were like going to be in like ruins, like these Mayan ruins. They're really just stuck on this hill that is, I think, adjacent to said ruins, but surrounded by jungle, lots of vines and flowers. This part's kind of throwing me off. Alright, one thing, all the characters read almost exactly the same. like their voices, there's no difference in their voices or their characteristics. I feel like there's some differentiation between Stacy and Amy, but I wouldn't say a lot. This, I think, is another type of horror story, like similar to Midsommar and similar to Green Inferno by Eli Roth. Like, you pluck a bunch of white people into a new country, a new culture, a new language, and they f*** around and find out. Like, they mess with stuff and stick their noses and stuff they're not supposed to, and the blowback for that is usually pretty bad. So I forget when this came out, like 2006, so like that predates both of those movies for sure. And like, obviously there'd been stories like this before. It's just, I don't know, for me, I guess because I've seen and read these stories before. Mostly seen, not read. I don't think it's doing anything different. Yeah, and there's been a couple of like sexual like circumstances that I don't think fit in the story. And there's one in particular I'm thinking of right now that just like, what, why? I will say though, this is in praise of this, the body horror is quite good, quite disgusting, quite exquisite, I might say. It is very good body horror, so that is what's been keeping me going as it gets more and more I think I have like some sort of a prediction of how this is gonna wrap up, but who knows, it might change a lot. But I am liking it. I'm not loving it by any means. I can see why a lot of people would enjoy this book and put it as a scary book. I personally am not scared. It's more like because body horror doesn't scare me. It's more just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ugh. And it's just fun to witness or read about. But I wouldn't say I'm scared just yet. But it is kind of a slog to read at some instances because there's not a ton of dialogue. It's a lot of inner thoughts and monologues. Don't even want to say monologues because that's like not really it. It's not very deep or impactful emotional. It's more like just gory fun time, which is fun. Like there are tons of valid books like that are truly just a gory fun time. What the hell? Sorry, I'm just reading the back of this from the Baltimore Sun. An exercise in unremitting tension. Smith writes in clear, vivid language and elegant sentences. Come on. It's fine. It's fine so far. It's definitely more dynamic than The Little Stranger, even though I did really enjoy reading like the first half of that. I really enjoyed. There's a lot more happening gore horror wise in this one than The Little Stranger. The Little Stranger was more of like a very slow, creeping, delicate almost type of story. I'm gonna try and finish it tonight so I can end this vlog and get it up to you all sooner rather than later. Yeah, that's my update for The Ruins. Liking, not loving. We'll see how the last quarter wraps up. How gross it gets. I guess, yeah, if it's gross, I'll love it. Ew, yeah. Alright, I'll talk later. To close out the vlog, I did finish The Ruins by Scott Smith. I thought it was just okay. This is so shiny. God, why did they do this? I thought it was fine. I did enjoy the body horror aspect of this. The story, the characters, not so much. They were nearly insufferable, some of the characters. They kept like it wasn't a lot, but there was a few instances of like some sexual activities, and I'm just like, this is the last thing I would have on my mind if this situation was going on. Like, sorry. And apparently the movie is very, very different from the book. I was just curious because you can only rent or buy it. It's not streaming anywhere for free. So I was really curious. They changed so much. They changed a lot. And Scott Smith wrote the screenplay, so I was like, okay. And then I was just reading through it, and I read, like, towards the end, apparently the movie had 2 alternate endings, or 3, because they couldn't really decide, and they let the audience decide with, like, some pre-shows. But Scott Smith said he didn't want to keep the original ending that's in the book because he said, quote, it would make people want to themselves. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. Come on, get off your own high horse. I thought it was fine. Maybe 3 stars if I'm being nice, which I feel like being nice right now. 3 stars. So, all right, let's recap. The Ruins. It was fine. Good body horror. I kind of understand why it was mentioned so much and why it would freak people out. Body horror doesn't scare me. It's just like like I said, I'm just like ooh. Yeah, I won't think this is for me, this wasn't a very scary book. Then I read The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. That one part when I was reading it at night, it did like make me like ooh. So I will give this credit. It did freak me out a little bit, but it just became a little too long-winded, and it being in the doctor's POV for that long, I feel like was a mistake. By the end of it, I was just like, oh, thank God this book is over. But I did enjoy like the first half a lot. I really enjoyed it. I might watch the movie just because I'm curious. Yeah, I can see why people would put this, like, say I would like this and why it's scary. So yeah, good recommendation. I wish I'd loved it more. The book I definitely enjoyed the most of this vlog was Dark Matter by Michelle Paver. That did get me. That did freak me out. I did get like a couple moments where I was like, that was really well done. So atmospheric. So like chilly, cold, like unrelenting fear and creepiness and darkness, and I thought it was really, really well done. I thought it was really well executed. And then the DNF of Heart-Shaped Box, which I don't regret DNFing it. I have no interest to go back and finish it. None at all. So yeah, this vlog was interesting. It was an interesting experiment. I'm definitely going to do more versions of this. I go through that list, the Excel spreadsheet. So I'd like to keep doing this. What did you think of all the books I read in this vlog? Which ones have you read and you thought were scary? Did you agree with me? Did you not? I would love to know down below. Also, I would love to know what's the scariest book you've read. If I haven't read it or it's not on the list, I will probably add it and I'll probably read it for a vlog like this. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for clicking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll have a new video for you soon. Bye!